Y'all, we don't use a filter today because I'm a little tired. My scent of the day is Lalibela. This is considered a chypre floral. It's a beautiful fragrance for all year long, but this definitely shines in the winter and the fall. Don't get it twisted because there's florals, there's coconut, there's pineapple in here, there's tobacco leaf in here, vanilla, there's incense in here, which makes it amazing for the winter and the fall, even on into the spring, y'all. But it's a beautiful, creamy, powdery coconut fragrance, and you do get that hint of pineapple, but that tobacco leaf in here, it's amazing. It's super feminine, and I love it. Get your nose on it, Lalibela. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marcy. Thank you for clicking on that thumbnail, always showing up, showing your girl some love. Thank you to all of my new subscribers for coming over and joining our YouTube family, because I'm here for y'all. You know, I love the fragrances myself, but I'm definitely here for the fragrance community, travel community, all of that. All right, so today we're going to be talking about some fragrances that I was supposed to speak about a long time ago, over almost 2 years ago. And I've had these fragrances, except for one, for about 2 years. One which was inspired by Africa and African leather, but you know, the leather was a little too heavy for me. So if you are interested in knowing about the House of Memo Paris, I have 8 fragrances today that we're gonna go through. A little bit of the notes, how I feel about them, the inspiration behind them. Please continue to watch. Follow me over on Instagram. I hope you are subscribed already. I hope you hit that like button, thumbs up, thumbs down, constructive criticism, all of that, y'all. Let me know how this channel is going. It's going on 2 years since I've had this fragrance YouTube channel. I've been doing it on Instagram for almost, I would say 3.5 years. And I was inspired to do it on YouTube because I caught COVID, sitting at home, watching fragrance reviews. And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to do a travel vlog, but that never even happened because I love perfume so much. So anyway, y'all, let's get into these fragrances, okay? That's another story and another YouTube review. All right, so the very first one that we're gonna be talking about is my scent of the day. Leave me your scent of the day down in the comments, or if you are interested in or have a favorite fragrance from the House of Memo Paris. So my scent of the day is no other than the beautiful Lalibela. We're going to talk about this one first, you guys. The bottles from Memo Paris, they're just completely stunning. They are the first thing that attracts you to the actual fragrance, on top of looking at the notes and you know that it's from Paris and all that. So you know most fragrances that are from Paris are pretty much stunning, okay? So Lalibela, just admire this bottle, y'all. It's golden. It's just, yeah, it's super feminine, you know, it's very luxurious, a very luxurious fragrance house, by the way. But in Lalibela, I'm smelling really powdery, coconutty, sweet, a little bit of pineapple, fruity, patchouli. It's not patchouli heavy, but you know, I'm sensitive to all things, but you do get a decent dose, a moderate dose of patchouli in this fragrance, but it's super feminine, y'all. It's sweet, powdery, tropical smelling. You can actually wear this 365 days a year, but if you do wear it in the warm, in the summer or on vacation, I think it will be better if you wore this at night. There's frankincense in here. There's some rose, peony in here. But the florals in this fragrance, actually, they don't hide, but they're kind of subdued. So in the opening, you get a really pretty peony. There's orchid, rose, and peony. I get that sense of like an orchid vanilla in here, but the peony is really beautiful. I get the peony more than I get the rose in this fragrance. The peony actually brightens and freshens the coconut up in this fragrance. I get a little bit of a pineapple nuance as well in this fragrance. But the frankincense, the tobacco leaf or tobacco absolute, the warm spiciness is just amazing, y'all. But like I said, it's a super feminine fragrance. If you love sweet, powdery, slightly powdery, so you gotta love a powdery fragrance, more of like, not an irisy powdery, but more of like coconut powdered sugar. That's what, excuse me. That's what I'm getting from this, is like a powdered sugar coconut, like a dried coconut. So it's such a beautiful fragrance. So you have to get your nose on it, and maybe order samples. I don't believe this is a safe blind buy because there's too many. There's a lot of things going on with this fragrance. It's pretty linear, so it doesn't transition. So what you get in the opening is pretty much what you get in the dry down. It's just a little softer. This fragrances will last you 10 to 12 hours, depending on how you spray. Moderate spraying, 10 to 12 hours. So get your nose on this fragrance. And this is Lalibela. Absolutely love it. If I ran out of Lalibela, I would most likely buy it again by the House of Memo Paris, y'all. That's who we talking about today. All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is Tamarindo. This was like a favorite for most people. Bottle is gorgeous as well. A lot of people say that Tamarindo has a similar nuance of Coco Chanel Mademoiselle. I completely get that, okay? I think it's just the orange in here, the pineapple, the patchouli in here. I feel like Mademoiselle by Coco Chanel is a little more fresh because there's a little more citruses in that fragrance. This one is a little more dense. It's sweeter. It's less airy. So if you want something a little more dense, sweeter, a little patchouli heavy, but still gives you that Coco Chanel Mademoiselle nuance, then you might want to try Tamarindo. But there's a beautiful pineapple. It's almost like a dried pineapple. There's nothing tart. There's nothing bitter, sour about this fragrance when it comes to pineapple. It's really like a condensed pineapple juice or like dried pineapple slices, sugared or dusted with like coconut powdered sugar. Not coconut, dusted with powdered sugar. Yeah, but this is such a beautiful fragrance. But like I said, you gotta love patchouli. It's fresh as well, but it's more dense. Ooh, y'all, this is so good. You gotta love patchouli in order to love Tamarindo. But it's super feminine, lasts for days on days. On clothes, on skin, it lasts about 8 hours. Absolutely love Tamarindo. Get your nose on it. I think that's pretty much all of the notes in Tamarindo. Actually, there is coconut in here, coconut and pineapple. I was about to say, I know I smell coconut as well. You know, but there's more coconut in Lalibela. I don't think there's pineapple and Lalibela. No, it's more coconut. And Lalibela is considered a chypre floral. Tamarindo is considered like a, I would say, like a warm, ambery, spicy fragrance, you know? But it's fresh, feminine, amazing. This one's amazing all year long. Winter, spring, summer, fall, okay? You can have it all. All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is, let's talk about Redbud. I was actually inspired to do this video by my lovely, lovely girl, Lala. Oh, and I'm like, I didn't take the plastic off of this. I've worn this maybe 3 or 4 times, but it's been at least a year. I actually completely forgot that I had this fragrance. I have so many fragrances. It's really sad that you forget that you have certain things that are so beautiful, you know? So Lala recently hauled Redbud, and I bought Redbud almost 2 years ago, and I completely forgot about Redbud because I haven't worn it. I wore it pretty much, not heavy, but about 4 or 5 times, three or four times, let's say 4, in the beginning when I purchased it. And then I completely forgot about it because it's like way in the back. So anyway, Lala recently did a fragrance haul and she hauled Redbud. I was like, wait a minute. I completely forgot about Redbud. I could have put this in my oud fragrance video because I absolutely love Redbud. So y'all, consider this a part of the oud fragrance video. You all know what this actually smells like as well, without the price tag. This is giving me the same vibes of Sentence 360 by the fragrance house of Mystery Modern Mark, Daniel. The one I said was super sexy with the oud in there. I did tell you all that I got a raspberry rose nuance from that fragrance as well. Y'all, there's raspberry and rose in here, okay? So yeah, they're very, very similar. This one's a little oudier, but the oud in here is beautiful. It's soft. It's gorgeous as well. So, can we get back to it? Thank you, Lala, for the inspiration of having me review my Memo Paris fragrances that I was supposed to do a long time ago. I love Lala. She's just, ooh, she's so adorable and just so amazing and calm. You know, the type of people that just brings stillness and calmness and, you know, just, she's a serene person. She's very peaceful. She brings that to my life, okay? Even when I speak to her, I look at her, I watch her reviews, all of that, y'all. So go follow Lala, okay? I will link her channel down below and her review, the recent haul that she did on Redbud. So you can hear from two mouths. All right, so in Redbud, you have a beautiful, it's gorgeous. It's ambery, it's oudy, it's warm, spicy. So this is considered, what is Redbud's considered a warm, spicy, ambery fragrance. So in Redbud, you have your cardamom, oud, rose, raspberry, vanilla. There's a little bit of patchouli in here, but you don't really smell the patchouli. You get a really heavy dose of cardamom, raspberry, saffron, y'all. Kari is the one that told me about this fragrance over on Instagram a couple years ago. He said, I know your favorite note is saffron. And I know you love fruity scents, so you might want to try Redbud since it has a heavy dose of saffron inside. So I was like, oh, thanks, Kari. So actually, it wasn't sold in the US. So I ended up ordering it from, I think it was Harrods or Bergdorf Goodman in New York carried it. It was an exclusive to Bergdorf Goodman. So yeah, I had to order it because I was really itching for more saffron fragrances in my collection. So anyway, you definitely get a heavy dose of saffron, raspberry, cardamom. It's warm, spicy, ambery, a really beautiful amber, slightly oudy, but a very lovable oud, you know? Just like Sentence 360 by Mystery Modern Mark, you know that fragrance is very ambery. I told you it smells of raspberry as well. But yeah, this is such a beautiful fragrance. The bottle is gorgeous. I'm gonna stop speaking about Redbud. I love it. If you like these types of notes, then you need to get your nose on it. It's a little sweet as well, y'all. Get your nose on Redbud. I don't know where you can purchase it though. Just Google it. You might be able to find it in America. Maybe Lala was able to link it where she purchased it as well. I'm not sure, you guys, but it's gorgeous. It's somewhere, okay? All right, so the next one we're gonna talk about is Winter Palace. Love, love, love Winter Palace. Yes, this is a tea fragrance. It's very citrusy. I love teas. I love red tea. I think it's pronounced mate. I love tea, black tea, green tea, like all of that. Just recently smelled a tea fragrance that's called Matcha by Le Labo, y'all. I'm loving it. But it's not giving, the performance on Matcha's, Le Labo's Matcha wasn't that great, but I love the fragrance, y'all. I also love, just a side note, that may be coming into my collection. I love Le Labo's Rose 31, I think it is. Another 13, I'm trying it, y'all. I don't know if I'm nose blind to it or I just can't smell it, but I do love it. I smelled it after about an hour. As I walked around, I sprayed heavy on my hand with another 13. It's a very light scent, a very light green rose, slightly sweetened, warm, spicy, but it was very light on me and I sprayed it very well. So I'm not sure about another 13. It would be a great office or signature scent, but Rose 31, that is coming home with me very, very soon. Rose 31. Anyway, we're gonna do a Le Labo haul 2023. I'm gonna really dig my hands, toes, fingers, all that into the house of Le Labo. Another one that was good was Tonka. Anyway, back to Memo. So in Winter Palace, there's red tea, there's Styrex, there's Tolu Balsam. You get all of that. There's vanilla in here. There's grapefruit in here, there's orange in here, there's mandarin in here, there's lemon in here. This is a really dense, citrusy fragrance. A lot of Memo Paris's fragrances are super dense, but bright and very long-lasting. But y'all, this, if you like grapefruit, citruses, styrax, vanilla, tolu balsam, it smells like there's a little bit of patchouli in here as well. Then you need to get your nose on Winter Palace. But the grapefruit in here is dense. It's slightly sweetened. The tea you get, it smells like red tea. If you are a tea lover and you know what red tea smells like, that's what it smells like. It almost smells like Robois, sorry. It smells like Robois / red tea in a way, a little warm, spicy, but this is definitely amazing for the winter, the fall, winter. I would not wear this in the heat because it is just that citrusy and dense, you guys. But beautiful, a citrus you can wear in the cooler months, y'all. So Winter Palace, love the dragon on here. These are all inspired by different countries. And I think that's why I took a lot to this fragrance house as well. I'm a traveler. I love the fact that they are continent inspired, country inspired. And there's a vision behind all of these fragrances. And I absolutely love the stories and the vision behind these fragrances, y'all. Get your nose on it. So the next one we're going to talk about is, let's talk about Granada. So this is one that I was almost about to declutter, okay? But then I sat with it. I wore it a couple days. And I realized that this is a very beautiful orange blossom. Initially, the grenadine, which is like a syrup, I think that they use in some alcohols. It's that red syrup that has a very unique taste and a very different type of smell. But I get that in this fragrance. It's a little green as well. But it's green, it's powdery. You get a beautiful scent of orange blossom. It's slightly green, not too green. The orange blossom is the end all be all in this fragrance. It's creamy, it's powdery, it's sweet. It's a beautiful vanilla in here. Vanilla, orange blossom with that grenadine in here. It's a little warm, spicy. In here also you have your heliotrope, which makes it powdery, some tonka and some woods, y'all. But this was really in a declutter pile, and I pulled it back out. I said, let me wear this a couple more times and give it another chance before I sell this or declutter it. And y'all, it is safe for now, okay? But yeah, let me go ahead and spray this because it's been about a year, you know? But y'all, you definitely get that tonka, the vanilla, the heliotrope, the orange blossom, and a little bit of that grenadine. I don't get it. Actually, I still get it, but not as much as I used to when I initially sprayed this fragrance upon first sniff, y'all. It's good, though. If you like orange blossom, powdery sweet, orange blossom with a little bit of grenadine, vanilla, tonka bean, all of that, get your nose on Granada. Beautiful, stunning bottle as well. You can see the emblem. It says Memo through the back of the bottles, y'all. I absolutely love that. You don't just look at paper. Is it on the back of the other ones? Yeah, the back of the other ones as well. Lalibela, Tamarindo, and of course the other ones are opaque, you know. I mean, not Tamarindo. Yeah, it's in the back of all of the clear bottles, y'all. Love that. Love the intricate details from the fragrance house. All right, another absolute love of mine, and I'll tell you which two that I love the most out of all of these. You guys know I went on a man hunt for Centra about 1.5 years ago. I could find it nowhere. There was a waiting list at Lucky Scent for such a long time, almost 6 months. This was nowhere to be found in America. Well, when I went to Amsterdam, I found it over there, and they had one bottle. I actually went back to the store to get a backup bottle because they said that they had it, but they didn't have it. I think it was the actual, the tester that was there in the store. Anyway, this is Centra. I got so many compliments on every excursion that I went on in Amsterdam on this fragrance. These two ladies actually about maybe 9-10 o'clock at night followed me down the street, you know, tracked me down and was like, what? We were both trying to get a taxi or Uber back to our hotels after our excursion. Then one of the doctors on the boat ride down the Amsterdam River was like, you smell so good. You know, while we were enjoying our wine and cheese on the boat. The cheese over there is amazing, you all. The Gouda cheese, ooh, gorgeous. And I'm not even a cheese lover. I'm not a cold cheese lover. I love warm melted cheese, but I'm not a super cold cheese lover. So anyway, Centra. Absolutely love it. This bottle is so special because I did find it in Amsterdam. It reminds me of that trip that I went on. Beautiful, beautiful. You have your petitgrain or petite grain in here. You have some orange blossom, some milk, some caramel. It's slightly green in the opening, a little earthy in the opening, but the milkiness, the lactonicness of this fragrance with the caramel, it's similar, slightly similar to Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy, but this is so much better because there's so much more. What is it? There's so much more to this fragrance than Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy with the marshmallow in it as well. And Centra also, it's a little musky. I think I pretty much gave you all. It's a little musky. It's a beautiful, creamy, milky, lactonic white floral with multiple things. It's very transitional. You smell every single thing that is listed in this fragrance. You smell the milk, you smell the caramel, you smell the greenness from the petite grain, you smell the marshmallow. It's powdery. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, super, super feminine, y'all. This fragrance turns heads, you know, it definitely turns heads. You know, you know what, can I just tell you guys something that kind of bothers me a little bit over here on YouTube, Instagram, all of that. When people say, and I've been meaning to say this for a long time. Now, don't get offended because it's triggering for a lot of other people that have gone through sensitive issues like this. When people say head turners all good, you know, showstoppers all good, let's start coming up with other fragrances that are not so triggering. You know, like certain words that they use with fragrances, like the use of the word Oriental. Yes, it's still in the fragrance, but it's very offensive to certain cultures, you know. So that's why about 2 years ago, Fragrantica decided to take it down with all of the Asian hate, and the use of that word back in like the late 80s was very triggering and was considered racist, you know. So yes, they use it in perfumery, but I really think we need to get away from using those certain words. Also, certain phrases I really think we need to get used to use it. And I think it's in some people's subconscious, because a couple years ago, when certain incidents happened in America, that phrase was thrown around all over the place. Sitting on somebody's neck, breaking necks. What is the other phrase? You want to break somebody's neck. You want to, this fragrance, so you'll be sitting on necks and standing on necks and stepping on necks. And, you know, all of those, I really think we need to get rid of saying those phrases when it comes to perfumery, because you're not doing that. Yes, you're turning heads. Yes, you're stopping somebody, but you're literally not breaking somebody's neck. You're not sitting on somebody's neck. And those words are very triggering to certain people, because as we all know, I don't want to say the law enforcement society, you know, those things, those chokeholds, you know, yeah, this fragrance is a chokehold. Fragrances are not chokeholds, you guys. People use those lingos and those words and those phrases when it comes to fragrances, and I really think it's inappropriate, because like I said, it's triggering for some people, because some people have gone through that with law enforcement or with domestic abuse, you know, not just with law enforcement, but just with domestic abuse and violence, you know, or bullying and things like that. So I really think as a fragrance community, we need to stop saying those phrases and those things and just start coming up with things that make sense and that are not so sensitive to the community, to America, to the world in general. Yeah, and I'm gonna get off that rant, but every time I hear that, it's triggering, because it reminds me of certain events that have happened in our society that led to death, that led to harm, you know, with others. So yeah, y'all, let's stop doing it, okay? period. Point blank, period. Okay. All right. Come up with some other beautiful phrases and lingos that we can use to say these fragrances are all beautiful and stunning. Okay. All right. Back to Memo. All right, so next we're going to talk about the amazing Marfa. Love, love, love a good tuberose fragrance. I love BDK Tuberose Imperial, and I love a very creamy tuberose. I love tuberose by the House of Amouage. I love now a tuberose that I don't really care too much for, but it's nice. It's a little basic for me is, what is it? Not Hermes. Is it Hermes? Anyway. The one with the little hat on it and the scarf. I can't even remember the name, but that's in my declutter bin. Anyway, Marfa by the House of Memo Paris. Beautiful, stunning tuberose fragrance. Creamy, woody, soft, floral, super feminine. So in Marfa, it's considered a floral woody musk. You have, that's what it is. You have your agave, that gives it that sweetness. You have some sandalwood, vanilla, tuberose, orange blossom. This is such a beautiful fragrance. I've only worn this twice. Beautiful bottle. You all know I was super attracted to this bottle. I love the Middle Eastern culture. I just love all cultures, you guys. So anyway, this protective eye, excuse me, it literally drew me to the fragrance. I didn't know what Marfa was, and I was like, it took me a long time to find this fragrance as well. I was like, what is that eye? What is that most people call it the evil eye. I call it the protective eye. Some people call it the protective eye, the evil eye as well, but it's very spiritual in other cultures. So yeah, this bottle is spiritual to me every time I look at it. The fragrance, it brings me comfort. I love tuberose, a beautiful tuberose. I do love, Chinatown by Bond Number 9. That is a stunning peachy orange blossom creamy tuberose fragrance. It's gorgeous. I may have to bring that one back into my collection because I absolutely love it. But then the controversy going around Bond Number 9, I don't know. So yeah, anyway. Marfa is a beautiful creamy woody musky tuberose. It's so good. And it's not a bubblegummy tuberose. It's just a beautiful floral tuberose. It's not a heady tuberose. If you are new to tuberose, the other tuberose fragrance that I absolutely love is by the House of Nishane, 100 Silent Ways. A stunning tuberose fragrance, y'all. It's very airy, fresh, fruity, gives you those black opium vibes with a little tuberose in there, with some peach inside as well. It's gorgeous. So anyway, this tuberose is beautiful. It's not vintage smelly. It's very fresh, very youthful, it's very modern. That's the word that I'm looking for. A very modern tuberose fragrance that I think most people would absolutely love. And this is Marfa. So the next is one that I can't live without, one that cost me a whole kidney, as Gabby would say. And this is African Rose. This is the last one, you guys, by the House of Memo Paris. African Rose, African Rose. This is basically African leather with rose, okay? Cardamom, rose, oud, leather, vanilla, sandalwood, y'all. A gorgeous, just throw a beautiful, sexy, expensive rose, a really rich red rose on top of African leather, y'all. If you love African leather, then you're going to love African rose. Gorgeous. It's bright. It's fresh. I think there's geranium. On top of the rose, there's geranium in here too. I smell the greenness of like a rosy geranium in here. The cardamom in here is beautiful. It's musky, it's woody. The saffron in here is stunning, y'all. It's It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous and stunning fragrance, y'all. Anyway, African Rose. So my two favorite fragrances from this House of 8 that I absolutely love, the King and the Queen, still reigns. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know. Memo is the queen of this collection, and African Rose which is very unisex. This is a rose that a man could absolutely love, like I said, because the leather in here is still creamy, it's sweet, it's woody, it's musky, the saffron, the cardamom, like all of that, y'all. African rose is a beast. Will last about a week if you spray it on clothes, and will last you days if you never take a bath and you spray it on skin, y'all. But it lasts all day, okay? And actually both of them last all day. These are probably the two strongest fragrances. And then you have Winter Palace, which is amazing as well, y'all. Anyway, queen and king of my collection, y'all. All right, y'all. Thank you for listening to my rant. Go out to the world, spread amazing sillage, do good, be good, all of that. And y'all, check out these beautiful earrings. I bought these from Etc. Earrings. They're over on Instagram. But I love Etc's earrings. Stunning. This is, I think, ceramic here. But yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, y'all. Love you all. Bye-bye. And get your nose on some of these fragrances. Oh, the one that I do want to add into my collection, Argentina, which is a beautiful rose, and Couture. I think it's Couture. There's honey, there's hazelnut, there's saffron in there as well. There's vanilla, y'all. Anyway, bye-bye. Mwah.